Hello Galactic family. You have seen with your eyes that incredible and historical waves of high vibrational plasma light has been flowing into the Earth's ionosphere since 9,112,018. These waves of high-frequency gamma light have been impacting Earth frequently and are causing the vibrational resonance of the Earth to reach record 40 Hz, fifth-dimensional levels for sustained periods of time. The high levels of vibrational activity that are occurring recently on Earth has never happened in modern human times, until now, and it's not stopping. By now, as a starseed stationed on Earth, you understand that this divine light is being sent to Earth with a great purpose and is being sent by intelligent, benevolent and advanced beings who have a compassionate interest in the awakening and ascension of the beings of planet Earth. There is a massive coordinated effort occurring right over your head that cannot be seen with human eyes that involves billions of light beings riding advanced stellar craft that are docked around planet Earth at this very hour. These incredible 5D rainbow plasma light ships have been detected, photographed and filmed by every major solar observatory, space agency and by many astronomers and amateurs all across the globe. Allow us to give you more information now about what is transpiring, dear one. We are the commanders and crew of these grand celestial lightships. We are a special division of the Atlantis Command of the Galactic Federation of Star Nations, and we have arrived in Earth's solar system for the purpose of assisting all the starseeds on Earth in their grand ascension event. Earth has reached a critical point in its history and evolution, and as a starseed on Earth in a human body you are well ready to make a quantum leap in your consciousness. We realize you have been waiting for a long time for things to change on this planet, and believe us, we feel what you are feeling. We know you desire a better life for yourself, for your children and families, and for all those that you love. We promise that it is now time, dear one, for you be elevated to the next level on your journey and to begin experiencing love, peace, happiness, freedom, perfect health, and abundance. All things happen in this universe at the right moment and when a being is ready. This moment is now. Do not judge by what you think you see happening around you every day, dear one, in the 3D matrix world. The busyness, chaos, and madness of 3D has nothing to do with what is happening on a higher level right now, and that matrix of illusion is being quickly disassembled as we speak. Trust us. We are doing advanced work outside of planet Earth's atmosphere and helping to activate your DNA to a higher order by sending the exact amounts of gamma light which your human vessels can integrate without damage to your layered bodies. We are one star nation among tens of thousands, fifth-dimensional groups who are working together on your behalf to liberate planet Earth. We work side by side with the Pleiadians of the fifth dimension because they interface best with humans. ARCTURIAN scientists and priests have worked directly with the Pleiadians since the early days of Atlantis. Let us tell you more about us. We are a very ancient group known as the ARCTURIAN who once settled the earth when it was a paradise. Our society is a compassionate matriarchal guided one with no leaders, as everyone leads themselves in a sovereign intelligent way and respects all other sentient life. There are many males in our group who make up what is called the White Brotherhood. Many of you are our close family and may have distant memories of our beautiful home on Earth, Atlantis. You see, the reason we are at this time and the reason we understand what you are experiencing and feeling right now on your ascension journey, dear one, is because eons ago we were attempting to do the same thing. We have evolved to many levels now beyond the days of Atlantis, and as you know personally, spiritual beings can face challenges in the beginning stages of their grand spiritual awakening. Our crew is comprised mostly of scientists, engineers, crystal technicians, energy healers, and planetary teachers. We are communicating at this time to the starseeds of Earth through direct encoded telepathic messages that are only entrusted to key members of the Earth Alliance on the surface of Earth. The universal collective contract that all of us agree to specify the point in time when the ascension of planet Earth would occur is now ready to be executed. Unconscious humans of Earth are behind right now in their spiritual evolution and are in no way ready to ascend to the status of a compassionate, advanced, galactic civilization. Trust that they will all come later at the right moment, but for now you must keep the focus on what you are doing because you are the one that will assist them when the time is right. Now we desire to give you more advanced information. What kind of technology are we using to send this plasma energy to the Earth and to activate SHERAN? We are the ATLARA, the Atlanteans, and we are experts at crystal and nanotechnology. There is an cache of data stored on your Earth Internet about civilization. Your Earth Internet was derived directly from the ancient Lemurian Atlantean Athena net, which served as an etheric Internet in our time. Your modern-day computers are derived also from our crystal technology. You are arriving close to the ancient Atlantean level of crystal computer technology with your quantum computers. Your Earth scientists are also close to the level of ancient Atlantean science with your current understanding of stem cell technology. You will figure out in your future that you can regenerate a human body indefinitely. You will not be able to achieve this until you evolve enough spiritually first. When we say, evolve enough, we simply mean to at least the 5th dimensional level. At this level you will only honor life, and every action that you take will come from pure unconditional love, goodness and great wisdom and knowing. More Atlantean history and more about our crystal technology and how your DNA is being upgraded in this modern age. In ancient days when Atlantis flourished on Earth, each of our 12 colonies were sustained completely by Andara crystal technology. Our 12 Grandmaster Andara crystals were 50-foot-tall obelisks of beautiful translucent, colored monatomic Andara crystal. Each colony had its own uniquely colored Andara crystal that emitted a soft magical glow of Andara light that lit up each Atlantean colony for miles. In those days we used Andara crystal technology to transmit power, for unlimited layered body rejuvenation and health, multi-dimensional communications, as computers, all electrical components, to move through space and time, to manifest anything we desire, to control weather and almost anything you can think of. This may sound a bit incredible at first, but as you will soon learn, it is all true. A bit of Atlantean Andara historical background. Throughout the advanced and beautiful ancient city of Atlantis, master power grid crystals, called posers, were triangulated and connected through an alloyed gold-copper rod under a spherical dome that could be angled to receive specific stellar, solar and gravitational energy waves. This was the system used to power Atlantean homes, offices, media, and theaters, manufacturing concerns, medical centers, schools, and businesses. The poser system was received in each structure by receiving crystal units of various sizes. The poser system was also able to receive specialized refracted light and feed it into the ley energy system for use in the interdimensional tunnel system, and feed crystalline light into conductive earth currents to raise the frequency into a semi-aware electromagnetic plasmic field of benevolent energy capable of retaining spiritual frequencies. A great crystalline satellite, referred to as the second moon of Atlantis, floated above in the skies and received, amplified and reflected refined energy back to the crystals for various beneficial purposes. It served both the posers and the master crystals used in temples. Specialized energy fields were projected into agricultural and crystal growing areas to amplify and accelerate growth, as well as into universities, hospitals, schools, offices, factories and workplaces to create a sense of well-being and invigoration for Atlantean workers and students. Now, the temples were astonishing works of sacred geometry and stunning architecture. Many of the great temples were covered in a dome of projected crystalline amplified light somewhat like a glowing force field. Others were set within pyramids degreed at very specific angles. The energy fields projected above both the sphere domes and pyramids were of various colors and glowed in day and night like the aurora. Some temples projected domes and fields of vibratory light and resonate sound frequencies that amplified the senses and chakras, others amplified the receptive learning ability of the mind, and others enabled multidimensional consciousness, communication, and transport. The pyramidal form was used primarily for multi-dimensional receival and transmission. The dome spheres were used to amplify the fields received for specific purpose. Most of the major populated areas and cities during the Golden Age of Atlantis had crystalline power domes of energy plasmic fields above them. When observed from a distance, these energy plasma fields would appear as if they were a tangible glass, but they were not solid, rather subatomic plasma. Beside each of the 12 master crystals were networked with a series of satellites. In the Golden Age of Atlantis, the pyramids were 3- and 4-sided, depending on their utility and generally made of marble, granite and complex crystals. The 3-sided pyramids were used as antennas to draw and amplify energies and feed them into the pulsar grid to power homes, factories and create energy fields for various utilities. The crystalline satellite was used to reflect the angled stellar energy waves into these triangulated grids. There were over 100 of these triangulated pyramidal grid complexes. They were set up in concentric triangulation patterns all over the planet. They established a hemispheric grid network of crystalline and electromagnetic energy dividing the areas of Atlantis, America, Africa, Mediterranean Europe and South America into different demographic centers for powering population centers, and to modulate weather patterns and tides. The areas of Mongolia and Tibet were also part of this complex, connected by interdimensional light tunnels. However, the largest groupings of these were in the homelands of Atlantis. The 4-sided pyramids were essentially temple complexes set as full octahedrons and used for healing, learning, regeneration and spiritual purposes. These were not triangulated, and generally set on hilltops or along the coastlines to receive both telluric and celestial energies. The lands below the center plane were excavated to allow for the downward pyramid of the octahedron design construct, thus connecting energetically to both above and below. The law of one contingency of Poseidon were devoutly spiritual people and sought equality among the people and a unification of oneness. Their skin was toned as a golden hue but was very translucent. Their auric fields were visible to all. Thus the stages of spiritual mastery were immediately discernible by the colors and size of the auric Marikana. The highest among the Atlara exuded Marikara, the energy of the Avatar. They were able to operate in complete consciousness of multidimensionality, to manifest and regenerate at will. As such, they cannot be truly compared to present humans. The bodies were luminous and the degree of physical manifestation was far less dense than humans in the present paradigm of reality in Marikana and Marikara format. The masters of the Atlara did not truly consider themselves of the earth. The Marikara field of the Avatar, even in physical manifestation in 3D, was primarily in earth via 12D. They required very little food consumption as their bodies were bioplasmic in nature. Thus the longevity, for they were above linear space and duality time. In their wisdom and nature, they were quite detached from the density aspect of the earth. They existed above the polarity, yet were in a form of light physicality. A highly disciplined and evolved sect of scientist priests held the technical wisdom and expertise of managing the crystal power grids. The vast majority of ARCTURIAN were of the tall golden race, but there were also members from the bronze, white, Lemurian brown, and cetacean races. At that time there were still avatar-level cetacean dolphin beings that walked on two legs, verbally communicated and breathed air in a similar fashion to humankind. The avatar cetacean were golden in skin coloration, and are the source of those termed the golden dolphin. The golden dolphin were harbingers of the aspect termed matriarchal, an energy that you term feminine divine, although they were primarily non-gendered in the physical sexual sense of the present paradigm. The sect of scientist priests was referred to as the ARCTURIAN. The ARCTURIAN maintained the highest standards of consciousness and were able to continue vibrating at very high frequencies of consciousness, at and above the level of 12th dimensional light and energy, remaining very pure and resonant with the true oneness concept of the Creator God. They sustained higher dimensional telepathic contact with the advanced space brethren from the Pleiades, Arcturus, Andromeda, and Sirius. Many of you today are ancient reincarnated members of this Atlantean ARCTURIAN sect. The ARCTURIAN priests were highly disciplined, revered and traditionally separate above and exempt from governmental controls, and thus kept the knowledge and senior management of crystal technology largely in the wise and benevolent hands of the sect. There were some technicians and crystal engineers from the Poseidon populace involved who were not in the ARCTURIAN sect. The scientist priest of ARCTURIAN were both male and female and were capable of great lifespans, both through the regeneration of mind power and through the technology of same in the Temple of Rejuvenation. Many lived lifetimes in the same biology for 6,000 years, some to 12,000 years. Much of the original Atlantean technology has been preserved through this holy sect, and core Atlantean knowledge has been handed down among the ARCTURIAN sect members for eons. Many brilliant souls were among these. The entities you know as Galileo, Isaac Newton, Einstein, Tesla, Edison, Marcel Vogel, and Da Vinci were among the ARCTURIAN. The secret Atlantean society still exists in modern time and is known as the White Brotherhood of Atlantis. Many of you, especially your artists, have great recall of the capital city of Atlantis located in the region of Poseidon. It was termed the Emerald City because of the glowing green light dome projected over it. Arion was the largest of the Atlantean islands and the most populated. Arion was the commercial center and yielded the most influence from the economic, agricultural and military perspective. After the Second Deluge, Arion was significantly damaged and the infrastructure required a chaotic stage of rebuilding. In the process, the state became controlled by an elitist, affluent white race, who gained control of the economy, military powers and state government, even though the majority of the populace were of the bronze or red race. From Arion grew a corrupt power-minded aristocracy who sought to block the law of one and utilize Atlantis's technology for control of the world, this through the utilization of crystalline energy for weaponry, and use of genetic science for development and retention of an inferior race to serve as workers and soldiers. Thus through legalized governmental control, the use of the Atlantean crystal power complex and grids came under governmental control under the Sons of Belial, and sadly could not be reversed. The second moon of Atlantis was a massive programmable Andara crystalline satellite of Arcturian construct and managed by the priest-scientist of the Law of One. The crystalline satellite was an enormous unmanned sphere of brilliant engineering, approximately 5 miles in diameter. It has been in use since the Golden Age of Atlantis and served myriad benevolent purpose. It amplified and controlled the various crystal beams sent from the fire, healing and energy crystals. It was somewhat of a computerized macrochip that refracted, amplified and reflected powerfully refined beams of energy for use in agriculture, weather control, tide control, healing temples, regeneration temples and the enhanced ley energy systems generated by the crystal poser system. It loomed in the skies over Atlantis and appeared as a golden harvest moon, and thus was known as the second moon of Atlantis. A rainbow kaleidoscopic energy band of anti-gravity plasma swirled around the sphere and often appeared as what you now term the aurora or northern lights. This grand second moon of Atlantis began to malfunction soon after the power-hungry deviant Aryans seized control of it and using it as a military weapon, causing its natural harmonic gravitational field weakened. Seeing the catastrophe that was about to happen, key Atlanteans quickly gathered an inner group of loyalists within the Atla and Law of One to plan a circuitry disconnection and imminent relocation of the Andara fire and energy crystals to various safe locations before the impending crash of the master satellite. This was done with the technology and assistance of those from Series B. Members of the Atla worked furiously at hastily and safely gathering data, recording Andara crystals, crystalline skulls and engraved historical records for secure placements in Yucatan, Alexandria, and Giza. 7 of the enormous primary crystals and 2 slightly smaller but incredible ARCTURIAN crystals were relocated within the bulk transport systems of the underground tunnel system with help from Series B. 3 huge primary crystals were relocated to the Atlantean crystal fields scattered all across modern North America, 2 were relocated to the underground crystal farms of Brazil in the areas of Bahia and Minas Gerais, 1 was relocated to underground chasm below Mount Shasta, and the Great Fire Crystal was placed underground in a chasm below the Bimini Bank in the Sargasso Sea. The 2 sacred ARCTURIAN crystals were relocated in the chasms below the area of Tiahuanaco, Bolivia near Lake Titicaca. All of the giant Master Andara crystals were put in 5th-dimensional locks, essentially powered down into energetic dormancy through the technology of the SIRIANs. Indeed, after a few months of being utilized as a military thermal death ray, the great crystal satellite overloaded, its anti-gravity cushion weakened and it crashed with the accelerated velocity of a massive comet in a horrific explosion that devastated most of Atlantis and critically weakened the tectonic stability of the Atlantean plate, vaporizing massive sections of substrata. And then in one shattering gasp, the remaining lands collapsed downward into the sea. The displaced seas that became known as the Great Flood sent dozens of enormous tsunamis that spilled over South America, Africa, and Europe. It is a scene that has for many lifetimes plagued and darkened the memories of many of you, who were indeed a part of it. This catastrophic explosion left a timeless trauma in the very being of every one of us to this day. Even though Atlanteans were already a very advanced race, they were on the verge of an even greater spiritual evolution during those ancient days, but the big quantum leap never happened. Everything came to a grinding halt and it was all cut off on that grave day. Fortunately, we buried the Andara crystals in the earth for you and we passed our technical knowledge down to you via our Great White Brotherhood. You are receiving this knowledge right at this very moment. You see, dear one, this story is about your past. You remember what happened, don't you? You are still here today in modern times trying to finish where you left off. You are the type that never gives up. Moving forward from ancient Atlantis to modern day, we are here now again with you. We are not just here with you, but we are you. We are the higher dimensional version of you speaking with you, assisting you. The higher being has come to aid you in this great time. Pleiadian Special Operation Andara began on Earth. Date March 21, 2019, as the Grand Central Race 5D portal was opened for all starseeds of Earth to travel through for the first time in modern human history. Many ascension pioneers have already ascended through this stargate, and we are here to show you the technology that will help you do the same. It's important here to say that you must do all of the things you have been trained to do to elevate your consciousness, such as clear all lower vibrations including negative beings, situations, toxins, and all types of trauma from your energetic field. Be in nature, ingest only energetic plant-based nutrition, meditate, physical body movement, sensory input of only beautiful high-vibe music, tone, geometry, art and aromas, affirmations and gratitude, gain advanced knowledge, practice manifesting your dream reality, being of good and noble character, and much more. However, at the end of the day, a bit of natural but advanced technology to amplify and assist with all of this makes it all work much easier and much faster. This is where ancient Andara technology enters the scene. You may have heard the word Andara a few times recently, and that's because we are sending high levels of 5D Andara plasma energy to Earth now to finish forming the new Earth crystalline grid, and we are here as an ancient brotherhood to reacquaint you with this ancient Atlantean technology to aid in your personal spiritual evolution. We will use this space in our message to say, any being who has Andara crystals near their energy field for even a few days will begin to notice a rapid increase in manifestation. We give you a word of caution here and say that even low vibrational energy manifests outwardly, but at this point in your spiritual evolution you have most likely cleared most of that, and if not, Andara will simply bring it up for you to be aware of it so you can quickly clear it. An Andara crystal is a living non-terrestrial benevolent energy, and that's what higher spiritual beings do. They mirror your energy back to you by default so you can see it clearly, face it, deal with it and transmute it if necessary. As soon as you come into contact with an Andara crystal, life will become a bit energetic, but isn't that why we desire the crystal in the first place? The secret here is to master yourself first and then become the master Atlantean crystal technician. Andara crystals are the most mysterious objects on Earth, and they cannot be totally defined or measured completely because of their metaphysical properties, and they do not make human sense at all. This is because they do not come from planet Earth, and they are truly a literal piece of magical ancient extraterrestrial technology that takes some time to begin to understand. All starseeds that have experienced Andara crystal energy will tell you there is something going on here that is not of this world, and all we can say here is you must study ancient Andara technology and simply experience it for yourself firsthand to gain the knowing of it. What is Atlantean Andara technology? Andara technology is advanced ascension technology derived from the lost knowledge of Atlantis and Lemuria when the great central race was here on Earth the first time. The history of Andara ascension technology. The ancient Atlanteans and their sister colony the Lemurians achieved a higher level of their consciousness in their time and transformed themselves into a much more advanced race known as the Andarians. This quantum leap in consciousness was done primarily using Andara crystals. What are Andara crystals? Andara crystals are the highest vibrational crystals in this universe. Andara crystals originate from fifth-dimensional star systems and were left for us, buried deep in the earth, by our ancient elders to aid us in our current 5D ascension process. Andara crystals were used in ancient Atlantis and Lemuria as advanced ascension technology, for heightened spiritual development, as advanced energy technology, and for total healing of the layered energy bodies. In the original Atlantis and Lemurian ascension, an interdimensional implosion occurred and the seed material was heated, not only to very high levels but in a contained hyperfield, which is created by two or more dimensions touching. A hyperfield forms a no-time zone, where linear laws of thermodynamics are warped, or in some cases do not apply at all. It was within such a hyperfield that the prima mater powders and the Andara crystals were created. Monatomic Andara crystals emit an extremely high energetic frequency that corresponds with the fifth dimension. As light passes through an Andara, powerful rays of transformative, healing energy are released and can be inducted directly and instantly into the auric field. These crystals are multi-dimensional and are not bound by space and time. Monatomic Andara crystals work directly on your DNA and will tune your auric resonance to the fifth dimensional, 40 Hz gamma state of being. The metaphysical science of Andara ascension technology. Andara crystals are formed in a no-time hyperfield, creating within them a kinesthetic continuum. This is a continuum that allows a moving time field within the elemental and structural composition of the crystal formation. In essence, this K-continuum does not align to natural polarity, but instead phase matches directly with the universal light matrix or the golden net of Athena. This etheric energetic net moves matter beyond the time barriers. Access into Athena's net allows soul matter units integration with future forms of spirit matter. Athena's net was the original and universal Akashic internet. Interers contain high levels of monatomic Ethereum, which is much more rare and potent than monatomic gold. This magical substance is what the Anunnaki came to Earth seeking. Monatomics exhibit the properties of superconductors at normal temperatures. The principle behind a superconductor is that it is able to carry electrical energy without any resistance present, thus exhibiting a zero loss in the conduction of that energy. In addition, the process involves the conversion of electrons into a light frequency as they pair off within the superconductive medium. One of the keys in these monatomic superconductors is the presence of exotic single-atom materials such as rhodium and iridium in the high-spin state. A new science has emerged to deal with the quantum-like properties of high-spin state high-frequency elements, superconductivity, gravity-defying materials, teleportation, space-time manipulation, multi-dimensional universes, and other truly astonishing exotic technologies. We the Atlanteans use Andara energy to bend gravity into power and operate our plasma light ships. Natural monatomic elements exhibit extraordinary properties that strengthen and stabilize the electromagnetic fields of the human body. Monatomic metallic elements are superconductors with a no magnetic field, repelling both north and south magnetic poles. This is conducive to zero-point energy. Zero-point energy ZPE is known as an energy that fills the fabric of all space, which exists at very high frequencies. Monatomic metallic elements have the ability to tap into this limitless supply of energy in ways we are just beginning to understand. Andara crystals contain the most concentrated charge of the monofield, hyperfield and kinesthetic continuum of any substance ever discovered by humans. Monatomic metallic elements can actually alter their physical state and shift into other dimensions. When heated under certain conditions, monatomic metallic elements, normally 35% silica, fuses into a beautiful obsidian-like material comprised of 75% silica. Your Earth scientists are unable to explain how this seemingly impossible transmutation takes place to this day. Andara material is able to transfer its exotic properties to similar metallic or silica materials. It seems that the monatomic metallic elements have the ability to resonate similar materials to their high frequency rate, transmuting and or transforming that material to resemble and reflect their exotic properties. This is a beginning understanding of how Andara energy activates and tunes your DNA trends to a higher dimensional frequency. Monatomic Andara crystal is the result of monatomic metallic elements that are found naturally in the Etherium powders heated to high temperatures. This process not only transmutes the Etherium powders but refines the monatomic metallic metals and enhances their exotic properties. Monatomic Andara crystal resonates at the high frequency of the exotic matter they were created from. Monatomic Andara crystals are quantum in every respect. Since frequency is a measurement of energy, Andara crystals will tune the body to the exact perfect natural frequency for optimal health and in a state of youth. Monatomic Andara crystals are also heliocentric, meaning that they absorb and reflect physical light toward the center of their crystalline spiral. This causes the monatomic Andara crystal to be very healing to gaze into while holding one in natural sunlight. What's more, Andaras are 5D master being crystals that are monatomic in structure and contain prima matra which combines 70 minerals. Andara crystals are composed of the most potent form of prima matra found on Earth. What is prima matra? Prima matra is an ancient alchemical term that means prime unviolated first matter and covers any form of matter that is resonant with the original first matter. Original prima matra is light just beyond the ultraviolet end of the visible spectrum of the rainbow high frequency, and the forms of prima matra with us today as the visible colors of the rainbow gradients less in frequency, but all still light. Prima matra is simply high-frequency light data that exists in the ether. This substance is known as mana, the elixir of life, the philosopher's stone, the fountain of youth, the primordial substance, an exotic matter, and it has many other sacred names. Is being revealed at this time to the planet to assist humanity with a transformational process. And Andara crystals are the Atlantean equivalent of a quantum supercomputer. Andara is also a powerful amplifier, a multi-dimensional transmitter and receiver, and it can store unlimited amounts of gamma light data just like a 3D computer hard drive. This advanced, otherworld extraterrestrial technology is the closest you will get to having access to real magic on planet Earth. All Andara crystals on planet Earth are not the original Atlantean Lemurian crystals. The original crystals exist in the fifth dimension. All Earth-based, glass Andara crystal is connected etherically to the fifth dimensional Andaras, and all the ones found on Earth resonate at the same high frequencies. Andara crystal glass and Andara crystal are different human names for the same prima matra monatomic 5D material. Andara is the most powerful amplifier of consciousness in the universe, and since you are already creating your own reality, this is the main ascension tool you will need to manifest not only a personal life of dreams but also a better world for all of humanity on planet Earth. Do your own in-depth research about Andara crystals, be around them and work with them personally, and you will soon begin to understand the beginnings of what we understand. Acquire some of these magical stones and align with them to create your own ascension magic. Dear one, keep reaching for the stars. Be encouraged and have faith. You have fought the good fight of love and courage. You have stayed the course and ran the race to the very end. Just ahead is a safe place for you that is free from the anxieties of life you have been experiencing. It is time now for you to be free and happy and to come on up to a higher and much better way of being. How to work with an Andara crystal? Simply come into close contact with an Andara, hold it, meditate with it, gaze upon it and send your highest intention into it. Andara will greatly amplify your desires and manifest them quickly and directly to you from a higher dimensional plane.